You've seen it 1,000 times in books and film. A group of people goes to a cabin in the middle of woods, but soon strange noises and strange things start happening. But what about experiencing the same story, but only this time for real? Tom Taylor, Australian Marvel and DC comic book writer, decided to rent a log cabin and spend a few days alone in the middle of the woods so he can focus down on some intensive writing. Unfortunately, once he arrived, he found out that the cabin was more like straight out of the movie terrifying creepy cabin than a relaxing cozy one. In an extensive Twitter thread full of thrilling twists and terrifying turns, Tom Taylor documented his experience from mysterious wind chimes to a sinister teddy bear. Things might just get spooky from here onward. Pop some popcorn ready and prepare yourself. Watch at your own risk. You're about to hear the whole terrifying creepy story. Here's Taylor's wonderfully creepy thread. So, hey, I somehow managed to book a creepy log cabin to do some intensive writing in for a few days. I've been laughing to myself about just how cliched horror movie this cabin is. But at 5:30 AM, out of nowhere, despite it blowing a gale out there for hours, wind chimes start chiming for the first time from the porch. Now, I'm just about to go to bed, but I'm not sleeping through annoying, spontaneous wind chimes, so I head out there, and I see the wind chimes hanging on a rusty hook. I figure I can reach them, and I walk out onto the porch in my socks, and the door immediately slams shut behind me. Of course. We all know the first rule, Tom. Never go outside. I frantically check the door's not locked. It isn't. I'm not stuck on this porch in this gale in my socks and a t-shirt. But I do hear something in the bushes. I don't think much of it. There's been possums running all over the roof all night. Cute Australian possums, not those weird US ones. It's the bush. Things are allowed to move in bushes. I managed to stand on my tippy toes and grab the rusted wind chimes from the rusted nail they're hanging on, and I hear the noise again. Now I'm kind of giggling to myself because of how creeped out I'm feeling, so I grab my phone to take a photo of the murder cabin I'm writing in for a few days. Here it is. Look at that place, Tom. I probably would not stay in that place alone. Why would you rent this house unless you actively want to be murdered? And straight after I take the photo, there's a flash. I check to see if my phone's flash is on. It is. I try to turn it off to take another photo, but something flashes over me, and it didn't come from my phone. And there's the sound again, but this time it's heavier, like a footstep, and there's another flash against the wall of the cabin. I pull my phone out of my pocket, thinking I've left the torch on, which I somehow have, and I manage to shine it in my own face as I try to turn it off, to take another photo of the cabin. But then I realize I didn't shine my phone in my face. Something else flashed in my face, and my brain is yelling at me. I'm telling myself I'm being stupid, and that I did flash my own face and the back quote footstep was probably a kangaroo or something. So I turn to confront the animal making the sound, and at 5:30 AM, in the dark, outside the murder cabin, someone is standing there. I can't see their face. They're wearing a head torch, and I'm running. I know I slipped at some stage in my socks as I ran up the porch. I definitely kicked the wind chimes. I ran through the door and slammed it shut and locked it. And here's the thing. Several tweets later, I'm sure it was probably just a super early morning jogger or something who was curious about the guy standing in his socks taking photos of a cabin with a flash. But if it wasn't, I'm letting you all know, just in case. And here's this helpful picture I accidentally took mid-panic run, if you need photographic evidence to go with this testimony. Update, I just heard the wind chimes again. The wind chimes I know for fact aren't hanging up anymore. This is screwed. I'm not joking. Lying in bed and the bedroom door just suddenly blew open with a bang. Oh, come on. I realize it's been 8 hours. Just wanted to let you all know I'm okay. The story didn't end there, but my phone battery did, and the charger was in my car outside, so, you know, physically impossible to retrieve. So, this is what happened next. Before my phone died, I spoke to my wife and told her I was sure I'd be fine. And then I took a video of the bedroom ceiling. I'm lying in bed, and the ceiling is making this sound, and then my phone dies. I'm lying there staring at the ceiling, which is apparently counting down to my death, when the wind chimes rattle across the porch floor, and then something very big runs across the roof. I'm assuming it was a large possum, and definitely not a hell beast. Eventually, exhausted, I close my eyes, and I wake up to a bang. I'm instantly more awake than I've ever been before. I'm on my feet, but I don't remember getting out of bed. Someone is bashing on the front door. I'm standing motionless, in my underwear, ignoring the still ticking ceiling, trying not to breathe too loud, trying not to make a single sound. I'm a petrified ninja. The bashing starts again. Without stopping to do anything sensible that would make me feel less vulnerable, like put on pants, I walk slowly to the front door, and there's a large shadow on the Venetian blinds. A very big person is standing on the porch of this remote cabin. The bashing starts again. I eloquently call out, "What?" The bashing stops. I see the guy shift, and he calls out, "Package." After the night I've had, there's no way I'm opening the door to a stranger delivering a package to a remote cabin. Also, I'm in my underwear. Also, I can't open the door because I frantically locked it during the night and I have no idea what I've done with the keys. He calls out, "Can you sign for it?" After a way too long and awkward pause, I say, no. Helpfully, I call out, "Just leave it, mate." I can't really. Just leave it. So, what are we thinking? Still beating heart or trapped soul? Why are so many of you asking me what's in the mysterious package? Why the hell would I open it? You think I'm going to bring it inside? No. It stays outside. With the wind chimes. Okay. I brought it inside. But I'm keeping it inside the fire safety cage. Notice anything weird in the photo? An eagle-eyed Twitter user did. Why is there a bear in the fireplace? There is definitely a face in that fireplace. There is nothing in the fireplace. People, I'm here for 4 more nights. Don't do this to me. Okay. Yes, I see the bear thing in the fireplace. I assume it was a weird reflection, and it looks cuddly, so I'm not worried. But to the people who pointed out what looks like a person standing in the window of the cabin in the photo I took last night, you are not helping. After seeing the definitely not a person in that last picture, I decided to check the other rooms in this place. Found this tiny chair in front of an old television with no reception. How fun. There's something running over the roof. I tried to get a video where you can hear the footsteps. Got this instead. Thought for a bit of fun I'd take my laptop and do a little writing in the tiny chair, and I seriously can't remember putting this there. Hey. Sorry for the loud noise. Squished my toe with the tiny chair. I'm in bed now. I want to go to sleep, but something is on the roof. It sounds bigger than anything else I've heard on the roof up to now. Apparently, mortal terror got Tom's creative juices flowing as he went off the grid. Coming back online later, he said he had been writing in isolation. Oh, there was one other thing, which he forgot to mention as it almost seemed not worth reporting. There were 2 bedside tables in his room. On a whim, he opened one. It contained a book titled "This House is Haunted. Try Harder, Cabin," he wrote. Rising to his challenge, the other bedside table contained games to play with babies. This is so much worse, he added. So, remember the wind chimes? I can hear them chiming again. The only problem is there's no wind, and they're not even outside anymore. I brought them in, and put them with the package on the old wooden dollhouse. Did anyone notice the blue bear at the top left of the picture? Tom tries to explain it away. The stuffed toy on the dollhouse isn't a bear. It's called a bilby, which is kind of an Australian native bunny. It's a marsupial. We give out chocolate ones at Easter. I wouldn't call it haunted. Not that one, Tom. It's the other bear, and it's glowing. Tom next heard something or someone trying to come down on chimney, accompanied by the jingle jangle of wind chimes. The next occurrence, however, caught him off guard. Someone's here. Someone's standing on the damn porch, and I left the door open because I'm an idiot. Okay, time to face whatever the hell this is now. It was actually not a murderer, but a repairman who said he had to come in to fix the phone line. even though the cabin doesn't have a phone line. Tom let the stranger in. He then proceeded to make a beeline for the old television set and tiny chair. Tom snapped the photo shown here of the guy not fixing the non-existent phone line. He eventually finished whatever it was he was doing and left. Next, Tom shared a video of the swing outside the cabin. One of the swings was swaying back and forth despite the fact that there was no wind. Yeah, that's not terrifying at all. Later that same day, Tom said it was the stillest night since he got to the cabin, but he keep hearing the creepy wind chime again coming from under the house. Tom is determined to investigate later. I went out. I heard the chimes, but I saw something else. There was definitely something out there. Somehow, Tom made it to his last night at the cabin. And just like those horror movies, the local weather service warned of a severe thunderstorm coming to the region during that final night. The wind is going crazy outside. Lights have started flickering inside. But I just want to point out that, despite the wind, the mystery wind chimes aren't chiming, and the swing isn't swinging. Then suddenly the power goes out in the storm. I went looking for matches or candles, and in the third drawer down, in the kitchen, I found the world's most useless lantern. Somehow, it's intensely bright without actually illuminating anything. How convenient. Now remember about that package before. Tom decided he'd open the package just before leaving. Inside was a note from the owners, wishing him a happy stay. Oh, and a teddy bear. It looks like Tom had enough. He took the package with the bear inside and drove to the shoreline. He eventually reached the beach and just thrown out the package into the sea.
You into the damn sea.
Feeling like he exorcised the demonic bear, he drove back to the cabin, walking up the stairs. On a chair by the door, there it was, the package he had just thrown into the sea. At a certain point, you just have to accept that a teddy bear could ruin your life. There's only one thing left to do. I worked out there was no point fighting it. There was no reason to keep them apart. I'll let the bear watch TV overnight. It was time to leave the cabin and its creepy experience forever. In the final video Tom shared, he was seen driving peacefully, coming home free at last. Except for the sound of the creepy wind chimes, which seemed to have followed him home. Thanks for watching, leave a like, and drop a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and hit the notification bell.